Hey everyone, Troy here. This week's Goin Retro is going to be a little bit different. We're going to focus on one game at a time now, spread it out a little bit, and this week's Bubsy and Claws encounters of the third kind. Here he is, it's Bubsy. Basically, you've got the most amount of yarn balls, which you can see me collecting right here, in the world, and the woolies are out to try and steal them all from you. Well, they're not stealing it from you, they're stealing it from everyone else, but he's got the greatest collection, he's the most at risk, and you just killed one of them. As you can see, it's a platform game, and it was touted as a Sonic killer. I wouldn't go that far. You can see that the game is pretty simply designed, but there's not a lot of viewport, you can't really see a lot of the level. And as you see me bouncing around here, there was a weird physics to the game. Everything seemed really floaty and there was momentum in weird angles. And that happened. Always. The amount of times you died in this game was very frustrating. As you're going to see this little brief montage of how many times I did actually die, it became very frustrating. I mean, there's a reason why you start with 10 lives. So okay, so now I've finally got the gist of it. I'm past that area, no longer embarrassing. And I fall into the water. Okay. There was something very fun about the game at the time. There was a lot of hype around it. Arcade was bringing it out, if you remember those guys. And it was touted to be the next big thing in platform games. Everyone had like their little mascot, everyone wanted to be the king of the platform genre. This wasn't it. It was very frustrating. I remember playing this as a kid and I didn't get very far into the game at the time because every time you did anything you died. The game was almost designed to a point to kill you. The C button was put into the game just as a move to hold down and view around the level. Very frustrating. The amount of times that you would jump and then you would hit something or land on something. Here's a perfect example. Here we go in the roller coaster. Putting the arms up to celebrate. I died. Oh, what the hell? Overall, the game did look pretty at the time. As you can see here, there's lots of bright colours, it's very vibrant, everything's fairly well animated, but there's just not a lot of variety to it. Most of the levels are just the same thing over and over again. So here we go, it's the same type of level again. This time I'm on a train and I jump. Have no idea where I'm going to go and you run into someone else, or you run into spikes, or you fall off the edge, or you hit water. As you can see, when you had some momentum behind you, you could move quite solidly and you could jump around and it wasn't too bad. But just occasionally you'd hit something at a weird angle and you'd be repelled off at another weird angle. Very frustrating. I know I said that before, but this game really was very frustrating. There also wasn't a lot of direction. As you see here, I'm going towards the front of the train as you continue on as a platformer, left to right, left to right. I get to the end, and there's nothing. This level's a bit varied. Your tasks were going up. Problem is that half the time you'd hit an enemy on the way up. Overall, Bubsy isn't a bad game. It was never the killer it was meant to be. But don't expect to get a lot out of it, and buy a few controllers because you're probably going to break something. That's it for this week's more casual Goin Retro, where we talk more about the game rather than just trying to cross off a whole bunch of technical achievements and some facts that really aren't facts. We'll see you next time.